Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we're relaxing as per usual. Another nice pre-D&D Animal Crossing video. You might be like, dear darling, why aren't you preparing for the D&D session today? I'm gonna be real, I don't know what we're gonna do. To be perfectly honest, I genuinely have no clue what lead they might investigate at this point, because they well, we'll get into it in a bit, but good evening everyone right now in Fawnhallow at 7:05 PM on Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. Yeah, so they're sort of getting back into the investigation of things. I mean, I talked about before about how I was just undecided basically on the Adventurers Guild, feeling like I didn't want it to be such as signpost of the campaign. I just wanted it to be like a place where it's like, I feel completely lost, let's reconvene back to it. But then it ended up being like a proponent of it, proponent of a plot, which is not really what I was looking for. Also, I'm using the Joy-Con Drifty Joy-Cons, so we got that to look forward to. But then I wouldn't say I completely solved the issue, but at least sort of some of the prompting, and I think my players got the hint where it's just like, okay, come on, you have an actual plot which you're doing here. You don't need to go around doing unknown commissions in the Adventurers Guild all the time. I mean, if you want to, I guess you can. It wasn't exactly the intention I had with the campaign, but. Yeah, so anyway, they're back on investigating part of the main plot, or some bigger parts of it, and they got a bit, they worked their way around to getting sort of a tour again, I suppose, of a place that they're trying to investigate once more. But now there's quite a few different avenues they can sort of go down to try and figure out. Hold on, did I just get a message? I did just get a message. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the pause. But yeah, we're just talking about the D&D session. Yeah, they have quite a few avenues that they can go down exploring. I don't know what they're going to go down exploring as a problem. So that's going to kind of be the mystery in of itself. Well, for me, mainly. If I were to make a prediction, I would predict that this session will be probably more conversation and planning more than anything. And then a lot more silly antics, probably. Because I'm not really sure what they're gonna do, to BH. They have an ultimate goal, I suppose, of this moment of trying to find a way and investigate or find the location of this, and it's they have a few avenues to do that, but I don't know really which one that they want to go down, nor which one they're particularly interested in, which makes it very difficult to prepare for. I don't even know if they might even get into combat at some point, and then I'll be like, right, well, I don't know what to do, because I'm I didn't plan for any combat. Is it possible that we can get into combat this session? I guess so. It depends kind of what they end up doing, to be honest. I mean, at the moment, they're kind of mostly investigating stuff, so it'd be, I mean, I guess it's not crazy, depending on where they try and investigate, but potentially plausible. Yeah. I don't know if it's me as a DM, I sort of sway away from combat or something, but or if it's I mean, to be fair, with the other campaign, I think a lot of the times they deliberately choose a non-violent option a lot of the time, so that one doesn't have as much combat. And this one, it's sort of well, I mean, it's hard to fit combat in, I think, when they're not traveling, but then it's also it feels really random just doing combat, just sort of popping it down randomly, when they're traveling. It's a bit of a strange dilemma. I'm not sure if it's a balance I've got quite right yet. I think part of the limitation is as well that whenever I want to do combat, I want to do it with monsters who are already imported into Foundry, but there's only so many monsters, and I'm well, at some point I'm going to start running out of monsters, or I'm going to have to start stretching to more unusual ones. And I know in an actual D&D you would just use a stat block or whatever, but I feel with the convenience of Foundry, it makes it a lot easier, to be honest. And it's a bit hard because then it's like if I want to use just like a custom stat block or something, I'd have to like make pieces for it anyway. What I've done for quite a few of them instead is just like use a base one, just completely ignore the stat block in Foundry, and then just read the stat block as is. Like one of the like big fights they did in this campaign, it was actually secretly it was basically a reskinned vampire. Oh no, a reskinned vampire lord or something. I can't remember. Some high level vampire. Not quite the same. I got rid of a parts of sunlight sensitivity because it didn't make sense in this context, and a lot of the other sort of vampire specific things. But yeah, that's what I've kind of been doing. But I don't know. It just seems like I feel like it's easier for me probably to think of characters and conversations than it is to think of stat blocks, to be honest. So I'm sure it's partly my own fault of me just sort of swaying in one direction or the other. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that necessarily. What we're here to talk about is, I'm not sure how long, I spent like 6 minutes talking about that. Yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen, so we're just sort of going to let it happen, be it as it may, you know? Does that make sense in this context? Not really, but we're just going to sort of vibe out, and we're just going to, you know, find out. What am I saying? I don't know. Yeah. So what else to talk about? Yeah, what should we like properly talk about today? That's a good question. Kita-san Black banner today. Exciting times. Xenozone Zero user hub banner. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not just here to talk about gacha games, to be honest. I am sort of looking forward to the weekend though. I'm looking forward to a hopefully more low-key weekend, although I don't actually think it is. And the weekend after that is not as low-key. I just haven't had as much time to draw as I particularly want to be honest. It would be nice though. But things have just sort of been a little bit busy here and there. I mean, D&D is obviously like a big proponent of the fact that, you know, it takes up a few of the evenings, but not in a bad way. I do enjoy D&D. Especially when moments are like this, so I'm just like, what can I even do to prepare? And I'm just like, I guess I can't really. I just gonna have to. It's gonna be a more improv heavy session for my side, because I'm like, well, the things I've already prepared, like in advance of like plot lines and things like that, and characters they could or may or may not meet. But I can't really do anything else, to be honest. It just kind of already exists as is. I am interested to see what they end up deciding to do, but yeah, that's not what I'm here to talk about. What should we talk about, like, normal wise? Anything going on in Last Games? There was something I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. Donkey Kong Bonanza? No. There was something I saw, and I was like, what? I did see Sonic Racing? I didn't know it was another Sonic Racing. Cyberpunk Under a Rock. First combat gameplay. D&D Neverwinter Nights. Come to Game Pass. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, Wordplay. Yeah, that was an interesting one. It's basically by the person who does Game Maker's Toolkit, the person who made Mind Over Magnet. He made like a word creation roguelite. Which is pretty cool, to be honest. Like it, I mean, when I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, this looks like it absolutely should be like a game on mobile or something." It looks like it was made for that platform, effectively. Excuse me. It wasn't. Well, as far as I know. But I'm just like, it looks, you know, pretty good in that regard. So in some ways, I'm a little bit surprised that it's not. But in other ways, I'm not really. Yeah. It's... I mean, what do I think about word games? I kind of like word games. You know. I talk about the fact that... when I was younger, there's this game called Anagrams, which I always used to play at a friend's house. Which I really enjoyed playing. Anagrams, well, actually, there's two different ways that you can play Anagrams. The default way to play is you play it like you would play Scrabble essentially just without a board. But the more fun way that we play is you basically reveal letters one by one, and as soon as you can make a word with the letters, you shout it out. But then you can steal words from each other if you can make an anagram from it. So like if someone had a word, let me think of a good, like star or something, you could take it with the word arts, but then they could take it back if they got the word rats, but then you could take it back if you got the word tars or something like that, or arts or something. I don't know, a word I haven't said at this point. You can't repeat the things, but then like new letters can get turned over. Like if someone turned over a Y, then you could steal the word and the letter by saying the word stray. It's really, really fun. It's hectic, and I think it was basically only me and my friend who loved it that much, because we were just like going at it. I mean, this ties very much into the competitive aspect of it, I think I spoke about yesterday. Well, it's very much, that friend was, well, probably still is, very competitive. And I am a perfectionist, I suppose, in the case where I'm just like, I want to be here because I want to figure out, like, solve a puzzle of what the word is. The fact I win this game is more of a side effect, if anything. Not that I complain necessarily, but it's more like my ultimate goal is to get a long word. And when you just put the sub goal on that, it's like, well, you might as well, you know, try and win the game at the same time. And it's like, well, I don't see why not. You make a very compelling argument. So yeah, I do like my word games. You might be like, oh, you like playing Wordle? I don't actually play Wordle. The only one I do is Connections. And I don't even do that every day. Most of the time I do it on my Monday D&D session, where some of my friends do it at the same time. And I'm like, oh, right, I'll have a look at it. What is it? But one I do like is actually a new one I've discovered called My New Cryptic, which is basically a cryptic crossword clue. And then, I mean, that's it. It's a cryptic crossword, which I don't really know how to do cryptic crosswords, but I've always wanted to learn. There's a long story behind this, but basically on a school trip, I dislocated my shoulder, then spent some time in ER with a teacher, and he had like a cryptic crossword book, and he was basically teaching me how to do it, and I thought it was pretty cool at the same time. I mean, let's see today's one. Minute cryptic. Because I think it's a lot of fun. I'm not like good enough. I've not gotten it yet without a hint, mainly because I can't identify what the words are at this point, but this one. I love doing gymnastics with this extremely springy bunch. Now the question mark, with a question mark at the end, so bunch, which I think means it's a play on words, if I recall. I don't know what the indicators or any of it is in this, to be honest, because this is a bit of a more of an unusual structured one, I think. I love doing gymnastics with this extremely springy bunch. I assume springy maybe is what was it, indicator? Maybe it's meant to be like an anagram or something. I don't know. Let's look at hints. Indicators. Doing gymnastics and extremely are indicators. One tells us to rearrange some letters, while the other tells us to select the outermost. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe we rearrange I love, and we take the ends of springy to make a word bunch? I don't know if that makes sense. So indicators are basically telling you what you need to do with the words. Fodder is I love and oh this. Okay. So it is rearranging I love. And then this we take the extremes of. So it's TS. Springy bunch. So it starts with T, ends with S. And then we arrange. Oh no, violets? Those in spring. Okay, there you go. Crow. Nice. Springy bunch of flowers. I get it. Yeah, I like crypto crosswords in that sense, or like I feel like I would like them if I got into them. I don't really do them enough at the moment to really say that I do, but still, yeah. What else to really say? Yeah, like word games and that sort of thing. You might be like, oh, do you like Scrabble? I actually don't like Scrabble. Well, actually, I don't find it that interesting, Scrabble. I think I like doing anagrams. So I like the concept of countdown, but it's mainly because I like the countdown conundrum. They're really difficult, though, to do countdown conundrums. Like, there's this online countdown conundrum generator. I tried it a few times. I think I've gotten, like, the 9-letter, like, once. How about this one? UETEENLDD. And it probably ends with ED. Delented. That's not a word. I don't know. What is it? Undeleted. Okay, well. I could have probably got that if I remember that UN is also a very common start. Okay, reveal. FUTREDOTI. No, I don't know. Fortitude. They're so hard. Anyway, yeah. So I was considering playing that, but I think I'd probably rather play Mind Over Magnet, to be honest. I think logic puzzles definitely align with me more. I don't have anything against word puzzles or anything like that, but bananagrams is mainly the one which hooked me in. But maybe I would like it, to be honest. It sounds like it could be a lot of fun. I'm not really much of a wordsmith, I don't think, so perhaps that's not really my forte. So much so then, more than a logic puzzle, but it was worth a try. I don't know. I find it very impressive though, the timeline of being able to create and make that game, you know. Short timelines, that sort of thing. It's incredible. Inspiring even. And if it weren't the middle of July where I'm doing something else, then maybe that would be the inspiration I need to try and start doing a game. Well, maybe. That would be a pipe dream for now. Not in the sense that I'm like, I don't think I could do it. Well, no, I don't think I have a motivation or time to do it. It's a big time investment to make a game. Am I committed enough to do that? Maybe. Maybe. Not now though. Anyway, word games. I don't really talk about word games at all today, but I'm going to round that episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye for now. Oh, there we go.